Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to do a how many have you watched video. I've done a few of these in the past, and it's been a while since I did one. This one is going to be for Ben Affleck because he has a new movie coming out, Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Maybe not that new since he filmed it back in 2016, and then the movie came out in 2017, and this is just like a repackaged deal, which I'm hearing pretty good things about from a lot of critics, which is very positive for me since I really loved Man of Steel and I really liked a movie that I'm going to mention on here. And so I'm very excited to see it. And so I thought to do a how many Ben Affleck movies have I seen? I'm going to be keeping score. And there's about 50 movies here that he has credits on. I'm not counting the uncredited films. There's about 3 of them. One I will be counting only because he had a significant role in that universe. So I'll get to it when I get there. So let us begin. I'm going to be keeping count just in case I lose count in real life, but I counted them beforehand, so I already know. So let's get started. I hope you guys keep count too and let me know how many of these movies have you seen and which of the movies have I not seen that you have seen, and if you would recommend them to me. So if telling me, yeah, David, you should check this movie out because it's pretty good, and I'll let you know the same thing. So let us begin with number 1. The Dark End of Street is his first credit ever that he did back in 1981. I have not seen this movie. School Ties, which came out in 1992. I have seen School Ties. This stars Brendan Fraser as the main character. Matt Damon and Chris O'Donnell are in it as well. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I've seen it once, and I will say I actually thought it was really good. So I would probably recommend it. Again, it's a little fuzzy for me, but I remember liking it, and I remember somewhat what it was about. Like, Brendan Fraser played a Jewish kid in a school where it was, I think it was not Jewish, so he was like looked at because, you know, the Jewish people, they, for some reason, there's people that don't like them for some reason. I don't get it, but okay. People are people. We're all, you know, one. I don't understand when people want to ridicule others. But yeah, he was, I think, bullied in that movie a little bit or something. Like I said, it's been a long time since I seen it, but I remember liking it. I thought it was a really good movie. Brendan Fraser was great in it, and it was one of his more dramatic roles too. So Ben Affleck, he must have not had a big role in that movie. So anyways, moving on. Dazed and Confused. I have not seen this movie, but I have heard of it. Glory Days came out in 1995. I have not seen it. Mallrats. Yes, of course I've seen it. I've seen most of Kevin Smith's movies, and Mallrats is probably my favorite of all of Kevin Smith's films. And yes, I remember exactly what Ben Affleck played in. That was his asshole role. That's what I'll say about that role. He was a really good asshole, but it's good seeing Ben Affleck playing the good guy once in a while too. Moving on, Going All the Way, which was released in 1997. Never seen it. Chasing Amy, oh yes, I have seen Chasing Amy. I actually finally got around to seeing it last year when Jay and Silent Bob reboot came out. That's a little spoiler for my upcoming list here. Yes, Chasing Amy I have seen, and I really enjoyed that one. That one was very different for Kevin Smith, and Ben Affleck plays the leading role in that movie, and he was terrific, man. He was really good. That one showed a lot more of his dramatic chops, I would say. Moving on, Good Will Hunting. Yes, of course I've seen this one. When Robin Williams passed away, I finally sat down to watch the full thing because I've seen little clips before, but never watched the full thing when it originally came out. Then I finally did when Robin Williams passed away. And yeah, great movie. Obviously, Robin Williams and Matt Damon play the bigger roles. Ben Affleck plays more of a supporting role, but he's great in it as well, the time that he does have. Phantoms, never saw it, but I hear Ben Affleck is the bomb in Phantoms. If you know what I'm referencing there, good for you. Moving on, Armageddon. Yes, of course, I've seen this. Not my favorite movie of all time. It's all right. It's a good movie. It's a good action, put it in the background once in a while kind of movie. Affleck is good. Bruce Willis is great. Liv Tyler. The whole cast is really good. It's just Michael Bay, so you kind of know what to expect from him. One of his better films, maybe. So moving on, Shakespeare in Love, never seen it. 200 Cigarettes in 1999, never seen it. Forces of Nature, never seen it, but I know my mom owns that movie, so she probably has seen it. I never did. Moving on, Dogma. Yes, of course, I've seen it. Kevin Smith. That's another one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. Ben Affleck plays Bartleby, and Matt Damon plays Loki, his buddy, and they go out to destroy the world, or to rebel against God. And it's a cool movie. So it's a funny, dumb film, but I love it. So moving on, Boiler Room came out in 2000. I don't think I've seen this one, so I'm not going to count it for me. Reindeer Games also came out in 2000. Never seen it. Bounce, never seen it. Pearl Harbor. I saw this on Disney Plus recently. I didn't watch it, but that was another Michael Bay film. One day I'm going to get around to watching it just because I saw it on Disney Plus, although I hear it's not that great. So moving on. Daddy and Them in 2001. I've never seen it. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Yes, I have seen this one. Ben Affleck plays a double role. He returns as the character from Chasing Amy, and he also plays himself at one point in a scene where him and Matt Damon reunite playing themselves filming Good Will Hunting 2. So it was a funny little role. And I like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so there you go. Moving on, Changing Lanes in 2002, never seen it. The Sum of All Fears, never seen it, but there is a part of me that wants to go and wants to watch all the Jack Ryan movies. I know I seen one with Harrison Ford, but was a little bored by it. But this was like a long time ago. And then there was another one with Alec Baldwin and I want to say Sean Connery. And I was really bored with that one. And that's what turned me off of the Jack Ryan movies. But then again, I saw that one in a plane. And maybe that wasn't the best place to watch that movie for the first time. I don't know. One day I'm going to go back and watch all the Jack Ryan movies, including The Sum of All Fears. So one day I will see it. Third Wheel in 2002, never seen it. Daredevil, yes, of course I've seen it. It's a superhero movie, Marvel for sure. I've seen it and I like it. Unlike some people out there, I'm probably one of the few people in the world that really like Daredevil, both the theatrical cut and the director's cut. So moving on, Jiggly. I remember when this movie came out. Apparently, it got so bad reviews. When I went to Florida, I think it was only in theaters for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then it was already out on VHS and DVD. So there you go. Moving on, Paycheck in 2003. I have seen this. I remember renting it at the time. Because by that point, because of Daredevil, I was a fan of Ben Affleck right away. Because if you do a superhero movie, you probably won me over. Especially if you did a good job as that character. And so I did check out Paycheck. But I guess it wasn't memorable that I don't remember it, but I remember somewhat liking it. But it must have not been that memorable, so that's why I don't remember it. So moving on, Jersey Girl in 2004, that one I haven't seen. I have not seen. Surviving Christmas, I have not seen, also in 2004. 2006, Man About Town, never even heard of that one. 2006, Clerks 2. Yes, I have seen it, but I don't remember Ben Affleck's role in that movie. Moving on. Hollywoodland in 2006. Yes, I do remember this movie. I own it on DVD. It's a great movie and one that I would recommend. It's about the death of George Reeves, the true story of the guy who played Superman back in the 50s. Ben Affleck plays George Reeves, so you actually get to see him dress up as Superman, which is kind of funny that he would go on later to play Batman. And Adrian Brody plays this detective that goes to solve the case on who murdered George Reeves, or did he kill himself. And I believe George Reeves' mother, who was played, or no, his... No, I don't remember exactly who hires him. It must have been his mother, but I was going to mix it up with Diane Lane. Diane Lane, who plays Martha in Batman v Superman, is in the movie too, but she plays someone that he's having an affair with. So I don't remember who plays George Reeves' mother in the movie, but yeah, it was a really good movie. I remember it's been some time since I last seen it, but I remember really liking this movie, and I still remember it pretty well to this day. So I would recommend to check that movie out. Moving on, Smokin' Aces, never seen it. He's Just Not in That Into You in 2009, never seen it. State of Play, I've never seen it. Extract in 2009, never seen it. The Company Men, never seen it. The Town, yes, I have seen this, and if I remember correctly, this is the one he directed, his first directing film that he did, and he starred in it as well. I think Jeremy Renner's also in it. I remember really liking it, so I think I saw it after he did another movie that's on this list. Because I thought, wow, he did a really good job with this one. Let me go see some of the other movies he did. And The Town was another good one that he did, I thought. Argo, that's the one that I was just referencing that he did. Yes, Argo, one of my all-time favorite Ben Affleck movies. I thought he did a fantastic job with this. And it has nothing to do with the Canadians being involved somehow in this plot, even though the Canadians weren't really focused on that much. Yeah, but it was a great movie, great cast. It was intense, I remember. I really thought it was a great movie, and definitely one that made me aware that, because I think Ben Affleck kind of fell off the map for a little bit, but this movie definitely brought him back, because he was even, the movie was nominated for Best Picture. So moving on to The Wonder in 2012, same year as Argo. Never seen it. Runner, I remember the title, but I've never seen it. Gone Girl. Yes, I have seen Gone Girl. That was David Fincher. That was a fantastic movie. Neil Patrick Harris was in it. Who was the girl in it again? That's the one I'm forgetting on. I'm just checking right now. Rosamund Pike. Yeah, and she was fantastic in that movie too. She was like creepy as hell. I thought she was great. Getting back on track, because I had to see who was the actress. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, yes, and of course I really like this movie a lot. Think it's a very underrated movie. Suicide Squad, yes, I have seen this. That's the uncredited role that I am letting slide into this list. Mostly because Batman is Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, etc. They're all connected. So if it's part of a franchise that's connected, I'll let it pass, especially if the role is somewhat pivotal. You know, Ben Affleck, his Batman might not be in it that much, but he does play somewhat of a role to Will Smith's Deadshot. He plays you feel his presence somewhat throughout the film. That's how I'll put it. Moving on, The Accountant in 2016. I remember wanting to check this movie out, but never got around to it. Live by Night, another one in 2016. He did a lot in 2016. No, I have not seen this one either. Justice League, yes, of course I've seen, because it's a superhero movie, and I'm obsessed with these kind of films. Yes, of course I've seen it. I'm looking forward to another version of it this week. So just a few more days, guys. Two more days, and then we'll be there. Triple Frontier in 2019. Never seen it. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I really like that movie, and I loved his scene in that movie too. So I thought his scene definitely brought the heart to that movie that it really, when his scene came up and he had that one-on-one with Jason Mewes, it was a really touching moment for that. And he had a really nice line about how the kids today, if you're a parent and if you have kids are kind of like our reboots. And I'm not going to do the quote justice, but it was a really nice quote that I thought was really sweet. So, and there obviously is a nice little wink to the name Martha to Batman v Superman. So, moving on, the last thing he wanted, never seen it. He did that one last year. Another one last year that I heard is really good that I still haven't checked out. The Way Back, which a lot of people say is really, really good. So, or from the people that I've heard anyways, never seen it. Yeah. But I intend, and that's the last one, guys. That's all the films that Ben Affleck has done. And if I calculated this correctly, I've seen 18 movies of his, and 19 will be definitely this week. If you count the Zack Snyder cut as a separate movie, which I'm hearing a lot of people say it is, it feels like a separate thing from that 2017 film, then it's definitely going to be 19 movies this week. So how many Ben Affleck movies have you guys seen? Have you seen as many as I have, or have you seen less? Recommend the ones that I have not seen that you think I should be checking out, putting on my radar. And I hope some of the movies that you haven't seen that I have on my list, hopefully you guys check those out. Like Hollywoodland, definitely I recommend. Gone Girl was another great one. Argo, The Town. These are some really good movies, smaller movies, of course. They're not the big blockbusters that I always talk about, but they're the smaller movies that I think people should check out. Smaller movies too. It's not always the big blockbusters that count. Sometimes the smaller budget films are really worth seeing also, because sometimes they're even better than the blockbuster movies. So just because I talk about blockbusters most of the time does not mean those are the only ones that I see. I see smaller budget films too. And Ben Affleck, he's shaping up to be one of those great directors out there. So definitely check out the ones he's directed. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care.